You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So let me go back to that story. So now, by the time it got to Abraham, and Abraham was presented, you thought I forgot, didn't y'all? And Abraham was presented with which lot does he want? And he chose the wisdom over the gold. He was enlightened. And then out of him, conflict rose again. You understand the second son story? We get down to Solomon. David's on his dying bed. Two sons want to be the new king. One of them's name is? The other's name is? Adonijah. Right? Okay. Both of them have priests. One of them's priest's name is? And the other one's name is? Zodok. Abiathar and Zodok. Solomon's priest is the Zodokite. See where the Lord gets the mysteries? Talk to me. Who wins? Zodok. So Solomon becomes the ruler of all Israel. And his brother and his priesthood is cast out and made to go south. But before that, they asked Solomon, before that, Solomon, what do you want of the two lots of life? Do you want the gold and the wealth, or do you want the hikmah, the wisdom? And what did Solomon say? Wisdom. Give me the wisdom. So they said, now, Solomon, because of that, God will come down out of heaven and dwell with you. Right now, you live in a time of chaos and conflict between you and your brother. So here's what we want you to do. We want you to build us a receiver. If you make this transformer and make a receiver, we will speak to you from the mothership. We will send down energy and communicate. So they set out to build this Ark of the Covenant. And they said, protect it, because it's going to be generating a lot of electricity. If anybody walks in there that's not properly dressed, it's going to strike them dead. You can say, I can take you right now and say, if you walk into that powerhouse down that road and put your hand on that wrong thing, and that was open current, you touched it, if you ain't properly dressed to conduct that leg, or if you ain't got the right shoes on so your feet are touching, what's going to happen? Of course, Aaron's sons didn't believe it. They walked in there and got electrocuted. So they built this box, and they communicated with Israel from there. Word got out to the other great builders, way over in what's called Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar heard that God communicates with Solomon's people through this mystical box that nobody can get to except the high Kohen priest. What did Nebuchadnezzar want? I want that box. So when everybody finds out someone is communicating with God, they want that person. They want that connection. Right? So the Babylonians conquered the north called Israel. But remember, Adonijah and Abiathar was sent to the south, and they set up the kingdom of Judea. And then migrated on further down into Ethiopia and on up into Sudan. Became known as Hadi Mahdi from Huda, the Mahdi family of Dongala, the Bija tribe, or Hedin Dawud, fuzzy wasn't. So the Babylonians conquered and told them, see this Torah? This is garbage. This is plagiarized information from the ancient Sumerians. There's the Atrahasis, the Edom Eilish, the tablets of Adafar. And they took their Bibles from them, read history, and burnt them. And they stole the Ark of the Covenant. And they stole the golden menorah and all of the tools of the temple and moved it into Babel with them. And they wiped out the Israelites and burnt them in oil, and none was left except the tribe of Judah only, they say in the Bible in 2 Kings. See with me? But that also included Benjamin, Dan, and the 13th tribe that the Jews and the Israelites and the Israelite Hebrews, everybody tried to ignore because the child born was done by rape. the 13th tribe, the Dinaites. The daughter Dinah, named after the moon goddess of Babylon. Dinah, the crescent goddess. They covered it up the way they try to cover up that one of the months in the Jewish calendar is called Tammuz. And when we say, well, Jesus is Tammuz, where y'all get that from? Y'all crazy? Where y'all make that stuff up? Tell them to go back and look at a Hebrew calendar and get the months and watch you see all the names of the deities we talk about in their calendar. They were worshiping these deities. And they knew Tammuz was the real name of the Messiah. And that's the month the Messiah is supposed to come in that Tammuz month. In the present day Jewish calendar, mind you. They know it. They know what we're doing. You with me now? All right. So once they got him, they wiped him out. They saw the power had remained in the tribe of Judah, in Judea. So the Babylonians said what? We've got to go stomp them out, or one day they're going to raise up again and come against us to get these tools. To get the Ark of the Covenant and the temple volumes, right? So the Babylonians launched out again and pounced down on Judea, and most of the pure seed had already moved out. And they thought they wiped them out. There's no record of ever saying, and we wiped out the tribe of Judah, and none of them existed anymore. They don't write that because they couldn't do it. They couldn't prove it. And they ruled Judea. And another group of people looked over from Persia and said, what are those mischievous Babylonians up to? What kind of confusion are they causing now? And they, under a man named Cyrus of Darius, all this in the book of Daniel, they pounced down on the Babylonians in the land of Judea. This is simple history. And then what they did, to go back to our story, is they gave that original seed of Judah the right to go home, to go back to Israel.